There are no narcissistic people. There are only two types of people: the very strong and confident, the weak, and the ones that are controlled. So the narcissistic does not value the weak, and that is meant to be. Now the weak people are like being controlled by the strong people who can be narcissistic. And narcissistic has a very strong opinion of themselves and others. They do listen to you. They will listen to their own opinions because they are very well read. They're extremely well educated, and they listen to you so well that in comparison to their own thoughts, they do not value your thoughts. They can be extremely goal oriented, and in comparison to them, you are not a valuable source. You're not growing. You have no set goals. You don't have accomplishments. So the narcissistic are supposed to be like looking down at you. But there is this new term that is narcissistic, is actually just comes from a society that's becoming more aware and becoming more compassionate and wants to value these little people who are not confident, who are always playing the victim card, who think that they've been forcing themselves to live with a narcissistic person. They always have a free choice. They can stand up for themselves. They can be well read, because narcissistic person is going to argue every single point you have and devalue it. If you have a very strong point and you're well read, well educated, you're qualified, then you can counteract the very narcissistic person. Or you don't have to listen. Devaluing a narcissistic person or an over-controlling person, or the person who's devaluing you or is gaslighting you, the simplest way is not to stand there and watch him. Either counteract or move away. And move away is the quickest way to bring them down. That means you don't care what opinion they have. You don't have to read the most famous novel. You don't have to say like this person is like so accomplished. But the narcissistic person believes in themselves. They're extremely confident and they value themselves. They're going to like set goals for you and themselves, and they're going to bring you up ultimately. That's what they are meant to do. They're supposed to change you. In the end, it's a win-win situation. Once you're free from the narcissistic person or a controlling and a very strong person, you can build your own life to value yourself and become a stronger person. And I was once with a narcissistic or a strong person, and it served me very good. And a narcissistic person is going to devalue you because they are thinking more from reason perspective, from the logical perspective. They're thinking from their mind. And according to them, they are going to devalue your emotions. So if you're a woman, usually women feel like pathetic in front of a narcissistic and calls this person like, oh, he doesn't like listen and devalue my emotions. Well, because the narcissistic person is thinking logically, not thinking emotionally. So you are going to come across as stupid if you're just going to lay down all your emotions and you're going to start projecting to your narcissistic friend who you call a narcissist. Like, oh, I feel so bad. I feel like I'm nothing. Whatever you say makes me feel like I'm nothing. You devalue how I feel. The narcissistic person, who's usually very confident about what he's saying, is not understanding you emotionally. So they compare themselves from the mind perspective and compare you to like this low level person who cannot counteract them using any mental logic, but is alluding to some kind of stupid bullshit according to them, which comes out of a feeling but not a fact. So the narcissistic comes like, oh, devaluing my emotions. He always is gaslighting my emotions. He's not listening to my views and perspectives. If you're going to constantly quote to a narcissistic person or a well-read, extremely confident person who values their beliefs, they're always going to look for you to counteract them from a very strong perspective what you believe in. A narcissistic is not going to be going to go around like being a narcissistic to a strong person. And most of the men do like very confident women. I mean, they will marry probably not a very confident woman, but they like to sit with accomplished women because they are going to see you as a valuable asset, as a growing person when they are going to talk to you. They think that there is value to your opinion. But if you're just going to talk to them emotionally, they can certainly bring you down. So now if you have a person like that who's constantly thinking mentally as your boss, and you think your life is hell, is because you are only feeling the emotions and not thinking what he's thinking. And it can bring you down. It can make you feel very low because it hurts you.